Welcome back to another episode of PSTV. It's your commish and your co-commish in the house. Co-commish, say what's up.
What up, what up?
That's the salutations from the hottest manager in the league right now. He's blue. What is it? Blue Magnum? He's blue Magnum right now. So hot right now. So, guys, this week we're going to get into some power rankings and the matchups and pick'ems. We're on a new recording software also, so you guys let us know, please, all the feedback. Do you like the video? Do you like the sounds? Everything. Just give us some feedback because it's our first time trying it too. So can you carry us into the slideshow? Next slide.
Got it.
All right. So last week, ranks changed a little bit. This was before your co-commish's big upset blowout win over Travis, but I'm not mad at it. I still think Travis's points for the way he's played the competitively all season. I still think that team has the highest upside. We might see another tough showing. We'll get into that in the matchups and pick'ems, but for the most part, we're seeing the same teams here. Co-commish, I'm the biggest change, and I missed editing the plus here, but auto drafting from 5 to 3, up 2 spots. Do you like his team as a top 3 contender the rest of the year, or you think maybe that's a little high for him?
I think that's a little high for him, honestly. He's been inching by a couple wins. Really hasn't had a dominant performance, and obviously mine and his points for is roughly around the same. His points against just has been better for him. I know that like a couple screenshots have gone out on the sleeper chat. Obviously, like if you go on there right now, you can see that stat where Otto's just been kind of lucky. Don't get me wrong, his team's not horrible. His team's not bad at all. It's just luck of the draw in terms of matchup here. Really, that it's tough to say. That's why I don't agree completely with going up 2 spots there. But that's just my thought.
Okay. You guys probably saw me grinning and you noticed something changed. I forgot to make this full screen, so you were seeing it like it was in the web browser instead of the full screen. So you my bad. That's user error. That's not, don't blame the software yet. But now that we're full screen, hopefully it looks a little bit better too. I see he was the one I struggled the most with because he's got the big wins. Not big wins as in like he's got convincing wins against good teams. I just mean he's got 6 wins, like
Yeah.
He's up there with me in Chili Bowl, and he's coming off of 2 over 110-point games. So he's got some momentum. He's getting Travis on not a bye week, but he's missing all his Eagles. So I'm like, he could win another game here. I don't like, and we'll get into this in the matchups, I don't like some of the other matchups for some of the higher seeds. So it feels maybe a little too predictive. So that's the one I struggled with as well. So I get that. And your picture's in the bottom right corner because you were sneaking in. You're not there yet because of the win total, but
I don't want to be in those power rankings.
You just might have to be, because if Montgomery comes back and we see that run game still produce enough to give us the 2 running backs, him and Gibbs, and then if Stroud keeps it up, I mean, you have some, like, we'll get into the matchups of picks, but you got some guys really turning their season around right now at the right time for you. So next slide. All right, matchups and pick'ems. As you can see, we have a lot of disagreements here. So let's not be shy about spending some time on this. First matchup is your matchup with Chili Bowl, and I have you winning against, again, one of the powerhouses of the league, because dude, Brees and Monty and Gibbs have fantastic running matchups. We're going against, so you would think the Texans will struggle against the Bengals because the Bengals have a pretty good defensive coordinator in Lou Anarumo. and
Yeah.
he's pretty good at scheming some like disguise coverages, but also he's just hard on defenses. You know, he's pretty sharp. So you would think maybe that'll be a problem. But then if I look on the other side, I'm also worried about Adams against the Jets. I'm worried about Cooper against Baltimore. I'm worried about if they're going to be able to keep Dobbs upright against the Saints to be able to throw to Hawkinson. Like I think, I'm liking the way your matchups are stacking up. There's no one on Houston who can guard Jamar Chase, and we just saw the Buccaneers really look good against the Texans.
Really impressive, yeah.
And Baker's trash. So if he looks good against them, what is Burrow going to do? So that's why I'm picking you. Aside from not wanting to jinx yourself, why are you picking Chili Bowl?
I do feel like I have valid reasons here. I do like the quarterback matchup better. I do see CJ Stroud doing well. But unfortunately, he's not going to give me that 40-pointer. So it's really going to come down to, can Justin Herbert get his shit together? And I think Detroit you can throw the ball against them. I think the Jets have a stout defense, and Herbert didn't really need to do too much these last couple of weeks to get a win. Pollard, he has both Pollard and Saquon, great running backs.
I don't know.
Pollard, I don't know what's been going on there. Yeah.
He might not get a contract. Like he might just go. They might just let him go. I don't know. He's great,
but you can run against the Giants. I think that balances out. Let's say Breece Hall there, Saquon Barkley. I think Dallas. I don't think Dallas is going to shut down the Giants or at least Saquon. I don't think they're going to shut down Saquon like they did their first matchup. T.J. Hawkinson, he's going to be Josh Dobbs' check down guy, and I think he's going to do a little bit better than expected. I don't think Adams gets completely shut down against the Jets. I think it's tough. I think, if anything, I see my Cade Otton, DeAndre Hopkins. Are they going to do anything? And Jamar Chase, is he going to play? I think if I was to actually pin it on one thing, it's just Jamar Chase did go down. He did have that back injury. I know T. Higgins, I think, is officially ruled out. And if so, and Jamar Chase is in, then I feel better about myself. But if Jamar Chase does not play, I don't feel like I have a competent wide receiver to put in there to actually make a difference. Actually, I lied. I have Deontay Johnson. I didn't realize I don't have him in.
He's been steaming. You just have such a great team. Oh my god.
Gosh, I have such a great team. No, but now that I think about it that way, I'm still leaning Chili slightly, and it's just because of Jamar Chase potentially not being in.
Okay. So then,
and is Cade Otton the real deal?
No, he's not. But he's not gonna goose egg you. You know. So
that's the hope.
That's still fine. Okay, well, how about you bring us into that little Chubb Nish matchup?
That little Chubb Nish matchup. I was leaning Nish, but then I forgot he's not playing his Dolphins.
Yes.
That was my bad for not actually looking closely to that matchup, just because it's little Chubb 0-9. An easy bye week for Nish, and now it's holy shit, he doesn't have his Dolphins, but little Chubb's team really hasn't done much, and that's because Nish said to himself last week Dolphins sucked, and he still had a good base of, what was it, 85 points or so. Yeah, he did lose to Chile last week, but he had a good, solid base of 80-ish points. And that's because Travis Kelce didn't go off either. So, I mean, if it's any indicator, he could potentially still get 83 points. And little Chubb has been struggling to break 80. I know that I'm not to him, but I mean, last week he barely hit 75. He had 85 the last week. Little Chubb's floor is still Sorry, Little Chup's floor isn't that great to make up for Nish's floor. And it's sad to say, but Little Chup's team hasn't really done much. And for me to say that Little Chup's going to win this one is still tough to say, even though he should have a easier matchup against Nish this week.
It's tough to say, but it's really tough for me to say that a team who's playing Jonathan Mingo, Odell Beckham as their two of their three wide receivers is beating anybody. And
Yeah,
I mean, don't get me wrong, he's got some good matchups on Nish's side because Heineke against the Cardinals, sure, he could definitely excel. Foreman, Herbert isn't coming back, so Herbert could have a good game. I mean, I'm sorry, Foreman could have a good game. So I like some of the matchups, but Kareem Hunt against Baltimore is scary. Watson against Pittsburgh is scary. I already called out the two guys who just aren't good, right? And then on the flip side, the only one that jumps out to me as like a matchup I'm worried about is Rachaad White against Tennessee. And Rachaad White isn't running anyways. He's not running well anyways.
No, he's
the
not.
production is getting is from the pass
It's in
game.
the air and the jump offs, yeah.
So maybe he still gets that anyways. And then for McLaurin, great corners in Seattle. So I could see that one be a struggle. But the other matchups are green to me. And I got a little Chubb for that reason. Getting his first win of the season, avoiding 0-10 start. Let's go, Lil Chubb. Speaking of down in the dumps, trying to get things going, we got Jay Moley against Bad Wolf. And this one's kind of crazy too because I'm going Jay Moley. Like I've got all kinds of upsets picked out this week. But it's like the perfect storm. Like, don't get me wrong. I think Bad Wolf should be favored, but I think there's just enough opportunity here that I can, within sound mind, pick Jay Moley to win. And when else am I going to get to pick an upset like this? I'm picking it. So the reasons why. Again, I like you guys to hear me talk about it everywhere. I like me some matchups because I mean it's a good tiebreaker. Like when we have all these guys who are talented, I like it. So Burrow against the team that let Baker Mayfield put up 30 plus. Robinson against the Cardinals, who are the worst point blank team in the league.
Yeah.
Javonte against Buffalo, who without I think it's Alonzo. I forget the name of their middle linebacker, but he's good. Without them, they've been giving up a lot of rushing yards. Again, Hollywood with Kyler coming back, maybe they play catch up. They get a lot of pass options. You can throw on Tampa Bay, so Chig might do fine. Like I'm seeing a world where like these are not bad matchups. And then on the flip, Detroit plays the run excellent. That might be tough for Eckler. ETN, San Francisco is a fantastic defense. So if you slow down Bad Wolf's running backs enough, and if the Bills are winning too fast and by too large a margin against the Broncos, who are terrible, then maybe all of the passing options on the Bills put up low fantasy points. Yeah. And I'm like, and he's got a lot of the Bills. I'm smelling just the potential of that upside. So that's that upset. So I'm going for it. What about you? Am I crazy?
I can see it. I don't think you're completely crazy. You're pointing out the Bills, and they really haven't been hot the last couple of weeks. And Denver did shut down Mahomes and the Chiefs for a good bit. Didn't I think the Broncos still lost, but I mean, fantasy wise, Mahomes was irrelevant. Kelsey was irrelevant. And even a couple of those other wide receiver options were irrelevant. And Josh Allen, Khalil Shakir, Stephon Diggs, I don't think are going to need to go off to potentially win this matchup. And I could see that. I could definitely see that. But I think the Bills are going to have to rely on their Stephon Diggs catching the ball well. Khalil Shakir is going to be really heavily involved. Sam Laporta against Chig. Laporta is I believe underrated in terms of like his fantasy production. I think he's easily been getting closer to 15 points per game, and I don't think that's what I don't think that's being shown, and it's against Detroit's against the Chargers, so I could see him getting heavily utilized in the receiving game. ETN against San Francisco, that one ETN has just been dominant,
Been a
man. That
monster.
he's back. He's looking like a top five running back, and I think he's only going to continue to dominate. Yes, I am fearful of the Chase Young coming in for the 49ers. The 49ers got a bit more stacked there, but Travis Etienne is making doing work, whether it be in the run game or through the air. He's just fucking dominant. Um,
I will
and
say though, two of the last three games, he's putting up 3 yards a carry. So it's not like he's efficient. It's the
yeah,
volume right now.
yeah,
So I don't know. You against San Francisco, maybe it's finally the recipe where they
maybe.
can't run.
But I don't think you're crazy. I can see the upset. I can see it. Jay Molly has been in somewhat of an upward trajectory to where he just needs 3 games and he's in that playoff conversation. And this is the week to do it. It's tough for me to see Jay Molly actually pulling that upset against Bad Wolf, and that's just because Bad Wolf's been dominant. He he gets the win. He has a loaded roster. The only knock for me is Khalil Shakir, but that's because of the bias, right? But I just think it's going to be tough. It'll
Last
it'll be a close. I can't see it being close, but I see Bad Wolf doing just enough to win it.
Okay, let's go into my matchup. But the last thing I'll say, the last time that
Mhm.
the Bills played a taco team was the Giants, and between Allen, Diggs, and Shakir, they scored a combined between the three players
Mhm.
28 points or 29 points. So maybe they win too hard. But speaking of who might benefit from them winning too hard, maybe that's James Cook, and that's
Mhm.
maybe like I'm kind of hoping that way. I think our matchup, mine and Goats, is going to be really close because
Mhm.
he's got Taylor back, he's got Amon Ra fully healthy right now, Dell surging, so I'm pretty concerned when I look over the sideline and see that
Yeah.
opponent. Um, I'm leaning myself because of the upside. I I almost went against myself because of the Ravens matchup against the Browns, but
Yeah.
but Lamar shredded them last time. It did not
Yes, you did.
matter.
Yep.
So I'm like, okay, well, if you're telling me Lamar and the Ravens offense has reached a point where they're matchup proof now, then I have to act like that until they prove they're not. Um, so that upside, the little bit of doubt with Kyler coming back because it looks like Goat's going to play him, and
Mhm.
then you know Gabe Davis, maybe he's the variable here, but I'm going me for the upside with the Ravens, and then I like a couple of matchups like Godwin against the Tennessee passing defense. Myers has been a quick and early target of Aiden
Yeah.
O'Connell. So like I think there's some matchups to play with here. So I'm going me, but um, I'm not confident. It's probably the least confident matchup uh, I've I've picked so far.
Yeah, no, and I'm gonna have to agree with you. I did choose you as well, but Kyler Murray coming back. I mean, I think he has a good matchup against Atlanta. I feel like he's gonna have to
Yes.
utilize that knee quickly and potentially run the ball a bit more. So he's gonna be using his legs. I think we're highly undervaluing Taysom Hill. I think he's been consistent the last 3 weeks. I think it only continues against Minnesota. They have those little special packages for him, and he manages to score. I also find it tough to choose to not choose this upset, but still, I 100% agree that Lamar Jackson and Mark Andrews are matchup proof. In that, if they play a tough matchup, they're gonna get that win. But at the same time, Lamar Jackson and Mark Andrews are going to have to show up to win, unlike the last couple of weeks where they've pretty much dominated in the run game using Gus Edwards, Keaton Mitchell, and that's not going to be the same case. Lamar Jackson is going to have to fling the ball and use his legs, and he's going to be doing that. And I feel like that's where you are going to be winning this matchup.
Okay. And then the big matchup of the week. Take us home.
Yeah, auto drafting Fugly and Travis. Travis with a tough loss last week against yours truly, and auto draftly with a tough loss against me again 2 weeks ago.
Hey! these are your leftovers going against each other.
No, it sucks because you would love for them to to face each other at their full strength, but they both got a couple buys coming in. Patrick Mahomes is gone on the
Yep.
on auto side, but Sam Howell has been going off. I mean, some would say that Sam Howell has been a top 10 QB. So, I mean, he's not really having much of a drop off there. Um, and then Travis, he's missing his Eagles. And I mean, I love Travis's team. I was really nervous about him playing him last week. Somehow I ended up that win. And this week is
Dude.
tough because he doesn't have the Eagles on him. And that's why I can't give Travis that win. I think auto drafting Fugly has just enough to upset Travis. So potentially 2 L's coming in.
No Swift, no Brown, no Hurts is crazy.
It's
And then
tough.
he would have also not had Goddard if he didn't get hurt anyways. So
Yeah.
I'm with you. It is an uphill battle,
Mm-hmm.
but I see some good replacement level players for Travis coming in. Connor off the injury. If he's fully healthy, that's a good replacement for
If
Swift.
he's healthy, I can see myself going Travis, but I think that's also where I I don't know if he plays. He had a limited practice today, or I think yesterday. I don't think there was anything on the reports today. Oh yeah, he had another limited showing, so he's been limited the last 2 days. They would love to have him back. I would love to personally have him back for my redraft league, but I don't know. It's tough. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
So, well, that gave me some time to look at something too, though. So like that's an example of a replacement player that I like. Lockett for AJ Brown. Like these are ones were close enough.
Yeah.
But then and I think still could put up double digit points. But meanwhile, on the other side, Otto has been getting away with just a complete and utter lack of depth and options. And this week he's starting Quentin Johnston, Jaden Reed, and Jerry Jeudy as his three main receivers.
Yeah.
Those guys could all put up 5 to 0 points.
Mm-hmm.
Like they're not ready to deliver this year. And when you're adding that kind of variability into your lineup, regardless of, because I know Mixon, Henry, and McCaffrey, for example, are really good stabilizing forces. Those three receivers are crazy. So to me, it really caps his upside. And I still think Travis has some players on his team who could have boom games. So I'm going with Travis still because I can't get past looking at those three guys on the starting lineup and thinking he's going to be fine.
I will point out that he could potentially be bringing in Josh Reynolds and Jahan Dotson. I think he's kind of worried about Jahan Dotson not being absent. He has been going off the last couple of weeks. They are facing Seattle. You can completely throw against them right now. So that'll probably replace QJ.
Because the thing about Seattle is that rookie corner, Witherspoon, he's been playing.
Witherspoon's so good, but he's going to be on Terry, though.
Well, we don't know how they're going to play the coverage. Are they gonna double Terry and put Witherspoon on Dotson, or how are they going to play it out? Like I would want to see that, and but I do like Dotson. I like Dotson more than I like playing Reed and Quentin Johnston right now. So
yeah. So I mean, I agree with you. I hated those wide receivers, and I definitely didn't want to choose him. But I see Christian McCaffrey back. I see Derrick Henry. And Joe Mixon against Houston. I know you can't run on Houston as much, but Joe Mixon, if he's gonna go off, it's gonna be against Houston, especially in the run game and dump offs. especially if Jamar Chase is out and T Higgins is out, then Joe Mixon is going to be the team. So,
well, there you guys have it. Finally, a week where the two commissioners are not on the same page. We're gonna have some good separation because you guys see at the record right now, we're neck and neck.
It's close.
So it's about to not be. All right, guys. Well, like I said, please give us feedback on how every piece of was. This is our first software we're trying. Co-commission. Anything else for this week?
Yeah, just like, subscribe, and follow, guys. Like, hopefully you guys like this episode, and now that we have this software, if it's good, we can potentially make longer videos, get our brain juices, and please give us some ideas now that we would have this extra time to record.
All right, that's it then. Peace, guys.
Peace.